Right, hi everyone. Hope you're all good. How are we all doing? It's Wednesday, it's the 11th of January 2023, and as it's a Wednesday, we're going to take a look at the 10 to 14 day extended outlook for southern England, Kent, and it really covers most of the UK as well because it's quite a broad subject that we're looking at. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start off by looking at where we're at, the snow cover, the temperature anomalies. We'll have a little look at the jet stream, how that's going, and then we'll start to look at the patterns for next week because there is a change on the way. We are in for a cold snap, so we'll also be looking at the way the temperatures drop off, and we'll have a little look at snow cover, and we'll also be taking a look at if there's any potential snow down here in the south of England. So I'm going to kick it all off now. This is the scene at the moment, and this is snow cover across Europe. We're still very mild across much of Western Europe at the moment, but you'll see that over towards Scandinavia, certainly northern Scandinavia, Finland, many parts of Siberia and Russia have deep snow cover, as you would expect. But yeah, compared with last week, you'll see that the snow cover has started to creep a little bit further west into Poland and into some of those Baltic states as well. The situation over the Alps is still quite poor for snow cover, but I think that things are going to start to improve there slightly in the next few days, and particularly as we go into next week. So we'll take a look at the temperatures at the moment. All these greens represent above zero, and all the blues represent temperatures below zero. So here in the UK at the moment, we're looking at the moment around 3s and 4 degrees, or should we actually say 8s and 9s? If we got the correct day, we'd be able to talk about this right. So yeah, 8s and 9s, really quite mild all the way over, even over towards Germany. And it's only once you get close to those Poland and those eastern states that we do start to drop into the freezer. Now, earlier in the week, this really cold pool of air over Siberia and northern Russia was really strong. It's now pushing further south towards Ukraine and some of those other states, but that will be warming up as we go through the next few days. For here in the UK, what we'll do now is we'll look at the anomalies. So it's mild, and this can be seen on the charts at the moment. The blues represent the temperatures below the seasonal norms, and the oranges and the reds represent anomalies above average. So at the moment, you can see here in the UK, 5 degrees above normal is quite an anomaly. Also, there's quite a bit of warmth over in Europe. We're looking at anomalies of 7 or 8 degrees, and even up towards Scandinavia, although they are below zero in many parts of northern Scandinavia, relative to the normal, some of these temperatures are really quite high, 10 degrees above average. So yeah, these westerlies have really made their influence felt over the last few days. But as I've mentioned, there is a change on the way. It's mild at the moment, and that's all because of our lovely jet stream that's been firing in from the west or the southwest over the last few weeks, giving us this mild air. In fact, here in Folkestone, I've recorded over 10 degrees every day since the 18th of December. Only yesterday did I fail to exceed that temperature. So that just goes to show how mild it is, and we've barely had a frost. But this is the jet stream. This is what's given us the mild weather conditions at the moment. But this jet stream is set to move. And as we spoke about in the last video, that jet stream controls the low pressure systems. And when it starts to track further south, it takes the low pressure further south with it. And we go onto the cold side of the jet. So this is the jet stream tomorrow. Still firing away, very mild across the UK. This is the jet stream by Friday. Again, still very much in control of our weather, perhaps moving slightly further south. By Saturday, it's back in control. Another weather system is pushing in from the Atlantic. But look at Sunday, things do start to change. The jet stream starts to push towards the south of the UK across France, and things as a result will start to turn colder across the UK. We'll run that jet stream into next week. Strong jet stream this time is out in the Atlantic, but it's to our west. So here in the UK, we're on the eastern and the northeastern side of it. So that will be cold. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, both 2 quite cold days with us being on the colder side of the jet. By the time we get to next Thursday and Friday, signs that things do start to become slightly less cold, milder as that jet stream starts to push further north again. So that's the jet stream. This is the anomaly. So what we'll do now, as we've already seen, these are the anomalies at the moment, but run these anomalies through to Sunday and it's a very different picture. By then, low pressure is anchoring itself out towards the North Sea, towards southern Norway. We're bringing in a colder northerly or northwesterly flow right down across the country, and we will be bringing in some quite cold anomalies. On Sunday, not so cold in the south, but that cold air will be digging into the north, turning things more wintry with time. And then if we run that anomaly through to Monday, there we are. We're on the cold side. You'll see that the milder air is to the south, and that's because that's where that jet stream is firing up. But yeah, for 4 days, I would have thought at least we are going to be on the cold side of the jet next week. And we bring with it the risk of colder temperatures, frost at nights, and potentially, just potentially, some snow. We'll have a little look at that in a moment. By Wednesday, the jet stream is still to our west. We're still quite cold. But by Thursday, just hints that the milder air will start to creep into southern Britain. But yeah, at the moment, it's a little bit undecided. Balance of probability will suggest that we will be getting a cold snap between Sunday, the 15th, and around about Thursday, the 19th. But as with these cold spells, as with cold air, once you get it in place, it can be quite difficult to shift, as we saw before Christmas in that week, where the air becomes quite heavy, quite dense, and any warm air trying to push in from the Atlantic has a real problem at getting rid of it. So now we're going to just take a look at the way that the GFS wants to play things for the next week or 10 days. I might even go up to 2 weeks, as I promised. So this is the situation today. Loads of rain, loads of showers, more showers tonight, rattling through with that strong to gale force wind. Tomorrow we remain rather cloudy. We keep the drizzly theme going. And later on in the day, we bring through another band of more persistent rain. We get to Friday. Friday is a cooler day, brighter day with some sunshine, just the risk of a few showers. Saturday is an unsettled day again. We bring in milder air, we bring in rain, we bring in wind, and yet followed by the legacy of quite squally showers. By the time we get to Sunday, you'll see that the air mass is starting to turn more to the northwest or the west, bringing in slightly cooler air, and you'll see that there's a few purples appearing up to the north of the picture, and that is perhaps the forerunner for what we're going to be receiving next week. So as we go through Sunday, it's an increasingly cold day, showers coming down the east coast, turning wintry, and even perhaps down here in the south, just a chance of a wintry shower late in the day. On Monday, another Atlantic weather system tries to get in from the west, but by then we'll be on the cold side of the jet. So the air will be colder. So any disturbance coming in from the Atlantic, running into that cold air, does run the risk of rain turning to snow. Now, at the moment on this chart, it's showing places like the Midlands northwards into East Anglia receiving the lion's share of the snowfall. But because we're in this setup and because it is still 5 or 6 days away, we do need to be on our guard. The air will be cold and there will be that potential. By the time we get to Tuesday, we're in a run of cold northwesterly breezes, sunny spells and wintry showers covers it quite nicely. And by then, a lot of purples across the map representing sleet and snow showers, and quite a deep area of low pressure in the North Sea driving in some quite cold northerly breezes. By Wednesday, we're still in that cold run of northwesterly or northerly winds, risk of a few showers, and then on this run at least, the GFS tonight brings in milder air with some rain at times by Thursday, but it's followed by some cooler air for a time with some wintry showers, running it forward into next weekend. So this is the 20th, so this is 9 or 10 days away. The GFS tonight wants to keep it quite cold over the weekend and frosty with a few wintry showers in the North Sea. It also then wants to bring in another band of rain preceded by sleet and snow from the Atlantic. So the GFS is painting quite a cold picture tonight from Monday onwards. So I think next week it's fair to say it will be quite a cold week coming up next week. I'm now going to show you how the ECM plays out the maximum temperatures for the next few days. So these were your temperatures today: 11 degrees, 12 degrees, 13 tomorrow, all very mild. By the time we get to Friday, 10s would cover it. Mild at the weekend, 12 with the rain on Saturday. By Sunday, the temperatures start to fall. There you go, 7s and 8s. These are maximum temperatures. And then Monday, you're looking at 4s and 5s as maximums. Tuesday, 3 or 4. Wednesday, 3 or 4. But by Thursday, the 19th, again, this model shows things turning milder. So I think, as we've said, balanced probabilities that we're going to get a cold snap and it's going to last about 4 days. Just run through the minimum temperatures. So at the moment, we're getting overnight temperatures of 7s and 8s. But run this forward through to, let's go through to Monday. There you see we start to drop back into negative territory on Monday morning and Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning and Thursday morning next week are all sub-zero with frosts. Quite harsh should the skies stay clear and the winds fall light. A quick look at the ensemble pattern just to show that the trend for these lower temperatures next week are set in stone, and there's fairly good agreement looking at the ensembles are tightly packed, closer together they are, the greater agreement. So there you go. It's looking like somewhere between the 15th and the 19th we receive that dip in temperatures. And we'll have a little look at the snow. This is what we're all interested in. And the GFS tonight does show that there are some snowfall spikes in that period between the 15th and the 19th. Some stragglers going into the 20th or the 21st should the cold last a little bit longer. 1 or 2 outliers bringing it a little bit sooner on the 14th or 15th. So that is it in summary. We've looked at the snow cover as things stand at the moment. It's going to turn colder. It's going to get frosty at night. There's going to be some wintry showers around. This is the snowfall map cover for Europe today. And this is what it could well look like as we get towards the end of next week, around about the 20th or the 21st. So Scotland, by this stage, would have had a fair amount of snow, I would have thought. Here in England and Wales, not too much being shown at the moment, but there is going to be that risk. We're not going to be going into deep freeze territory, but we will be getting something a little bit more seasonal next week, more akin to a northerly outbreak in January. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. That's the end of the 10 to 14 day forecast for tonight. I'll be back in the morning with the update, the morning summary. But in the meantime, all look after yourselves. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as ever, ciao for now.